The Fairy's Gift. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by hills and wildflowers, there lived a widow with 2 daughters. One of them, her own flesh and blood, was proud and selfish, much like her mother. They spent their days looking down on others, speaking with sharp tongues, and frowning at every joy that wasn't theirs. The other girl, however, was her stepdaughter. Though not born of the same mother, she was everything the widow and her daughter were not. Kind-hearted, gentle, and always smiling, she reminded people of the warmth of spring after a long winter. She was beautiful, not just on the outside, but in the way she cared for every bird, every leaf, and every person she met. But the widow did not see this beauty. She favored her own daughter and treated the sweet girl more like a servant than a child. Each morning, before the sun had climbed the sky, the girl was ordered to sweep the floors, wash the laundry, prepare the meals, and walk all the way to the distant river to fetch a heavy bucket of water. One hot day, as the girl knelt by the river to fill her pail, a frail old woman appeared from behind the trees. "My dear," the woman said, her voice trembling, "would you spare me a drink of water?" Without a moment's pause, the girl dipped her bucket into the clearest part of the river, filled a wooden cup, and offered it with both hands. "Here you go, ma'am," she said softly. "Drink as much as you need." The woman took the cup, smiled with eyes that seemed to glow, and drank slowly. Then she looked at the girl with kindness. "You are a rare soul," she said gently. "You gave without asking and served without expecting. I am not what I seem. I am a fairy in disguise, and I wish to reward your heart." The girl blinked in surprise, unsure of what to say. "From this moment on," continued the fairy, "with every kind word you speak, a gift shall fall from your lips, flowers, pearls, or sparkling gems. This is my blessing to you." The girl bowed her head in awe. "Thank you," she whispered, and with that simple word, 2 roses, a pearl, and a small diamond tumbled gently from her mouth. When she returned home, her stepmother scolded her for being late. "You lazy girl, where have you been?" she yelled. "I'm sorry I took so long," the girl replied. And as she spoke, petals and jewels spilled to the floor. The widow's eyes widened. "What? What is this? What just came out of your mouth?" The girl told her everything, her words dropping more and more gems with each sentence. The widow's mind raced. If that girl could receive such a gift, then my daughter deserves twice as much, she thought greedily. She immediately called for her own daughter. "Listen closely," she said. "Go to the river, take the silver bucket. A woman may ask you for water. Be kind. Do as your sister did." The daughter scoffed. "Why should I go to that muddy river?" "Because I said so," the widow snapped. "Now go, and remember, speak kindly." Grumbling, the girl grabbed the shining silver bucket and stomped off. As she neared the river, she noticed a stunning woman dressed in a gown that shimmered like morning dew. The lady, who was none other than the fairy in another disguise, stepped forward. "Excuse me, dear," she said. "Might I trouble you for some water?" The girl narrowed her eyes. "Do I look like a servant to you? Go get your own water." The fairy's smile faded. She bowed her head, then looked at the girl with calm eyes. "I see. Your words carry no kindness. Your heart holds no grace. As a result, with each sentence you speak, something far less lovely shall fall from your lips. Frogs and snakes, to be precise." And with that, the fairy disappeared. The girl ran home, confused and angry. The moment she opened her mouth to tell her mother what had happened, a toad plopped to the floor. Then a snake slithered from her tongue. The widow screamed, "What's happening?" "It's that wretched girl's fault," she cried. "She tricked us." But the kind girl had done no such thing. She had quietly packed her belongings and fled the house, heartbroken and afraid. She wandered into the woods, her tears falling like rain. She didn't know where she would go or what would become of her. That was when a young prince, returning from a hunting trip, saw her sitting beneath a tree, her face in her hands. He approached gently. "Miss, are you hurt?" he asked. She looked up, and as she tried to speak, a handful of shimmering jewels and sweet petals fell from her mouth. The prince knelt beside her in wonder. How is this possible?" With soft words, the girl told him her story of the river, the fairy, the kindness she had given, and the magic she had received. The prince listened carefully, then smiled. "Your heart is worth more than gold. Please, come with me. Let me take you somewhere safe." He brought her to the royal palace, where she was welcomed with warmth and celebration. In time, the prince asked her to marry him, and the girl, who had once been unloved, became a beloved princess. As for the selfish daughter, she drove everyone away with her cruelty. Even her own mother could no longer bear her company and sent her away. No one knows where she went, and perhaps no one ever cared to find out. The lesson is clear. Kindness is a treasure more precious than any jewel. When we give from the heart, whether to people or creatures, magic may follow in the most unexpected ways.